Hey everybody, welcome to Infinite Realms. Today, Tales from the Longbox, and we're going to take a look at The Hands of Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu, number 110. Early 80s, 82 I believe. The print is so small, I couldn't really make it out. I put it under a magnifying glass. I think I saw 82. If you see something different now, keep in mind I'm old and blind. And, yeah, this is going to be an interesting one, because when I read it, I was like, whoa, this is stuff you don't see anymore. But here's all your credits, and that's done kind of creative way, gotta admit. And so here we go. This is Shang-Chi, and Shang-Chi's losing his concentration in his practice. Now, this is one thing I really like here, is how this kind of breaks the panel like that. I mean, that's just kind of cool. You don't see, if this happens in modern comics, I'm buying the wrong comics. And they start talking about Dark Angel, no, not Jessica Alba, Russian spy. And you know, the thing is about Shang-Chi had almost its own lore. I mean, it was like, yeah, he was part of the Marvel Universe, but he had almost his own thing going on. And Dark Angel starts talking about the Ghost Maker. And, you know, again, simple but cool naming conventions in these days. And, of course, there's a lot of talking. And eventually, eventually Shang-Chi gets his butt kicked and gets dumped. Oh, poor guy. And so, Blackjack here, again, naming conventions were so weird back in these days. They decided to go and take care of Ghostmaker, who apparently decided, because he knew Dark Angel had defected, was up to his schedule to do his assassination. And you get some real Storm Shadow vibes off this guy. I mean, except he wears green, but I mean, he's got that intensity to him, I think. And of course, we go through some long bits of action, and oh, there, finally we're at where I want to be. Okay, so here we go. And notice the paneling. I mean, this is like 2 long panels, a bunch of short panels, 3 long panels. And then over here we've got medium-sized panels, and then boom, these long panels going up. Now, I bring this up for a reason, and you need to bear with me a second, because I'll pull you. The last episode I did of this, I pointed out something I really hated, was this on Hellcat. Because this just is so messed up and disjointed, and it's like, how do you read this? I mean, the brain wants to go here and then down here, but it looks like it kind of goes here to here. Whereas with Shang-Chi here, it's pretty logical. I mean, it's down, then over. So there's not, I mean, I don't see this in modern comics. Maybe I'm buying the wrong ones. Tell me in the comments if you ever see creative paneling like this, because I don't anymore. And this is one of the reasons I wanted to do this overview, was like point out things like that I think are really awesome. And I mean, it's just, especially here, this one, when they shoot the grappling hook. I mean, that's perfect. That is just so perfect of a visual. And then boom, climbing up the side. It's just awesome. And you could get so, you could crash and burn on this very easily, but it looks like very careful. We're being very careful, because look at this. You have a long panel, medium panels up here, downward, and then you have almost a mirror of it, except you don't have the 2 panels up here, but you end in a long panel again, and it's like all logical steps to read that, and you can follow along. And, you know, all this is going on while I'm sitting here talking about panels. You know, Shang-Chi is trying to stop Ghostmaker from assassinating someone. And I do love this. Danger. I mean, again, we don't see that very often. Then you have the words in the middle there. And another thing I noticed is, God, there's a lot of words on these pages. I mean, you get done reading, you know, and it really sticks out when you're doing this. You know, you read this, and there's like, what, 2 or 3 bubbles here and there. And then I think that's the most bubbles on any page. And I mean, you know, but the point is, you know, there's not a lot of dialogue, there's not a lot of stuff. I mean, there is more on this panel right here than there is on any of the pages we just saw. So, you know, I am amazed by that when I see it in older comics. It's like, wow, they really wanted us to read as kids, didn't they? But yeah, and you know, the visuals are very stunning and just, wow, they work. Boom. Shang-Chi gets jumped by Ghostmaker. And then I see, you know, this I love. The stair steps with the fight, and it's like, and this goes straight across the volcano. Oh man. It is so simple and so good at the same time. And this is one of the reasons Shang-Chi was one of my, you know, in my top 10 of early comics, because it was like they would do stuff like this all the time, and it was like almost your brain picked up on it subconsciously. And again, here's smaller panels, and then one long panel. And again, they're just fighting. You know, it's a pretty interesting fight. Don't get me wrong. And then Blackjack is in trouble, and so, you know, borrowed that from the Punisher, I guess, right? So Shang-Chi goes to save Blackjack, and then Ghostmaker takes off with Shang-Chi's girlfriend, and we wrap up with, next it will be Deadly Rain. And then, this is the most awkward dialogue in this thing. Dark Angel claims that Ghostmaker is planning on to rain on the Queen's Parade, using her own rain to end her reign. Clunky! But after such a fun experience in this comic, I'm not gonna knock it too bad. I really glossed the story over on this one. I mean, I did. I really just hit a couple of high points. But this was the paneling really stuck out to me, especially in comparison to Hellcat, which was the last episode. And boy, that just needed to be brought out because it's so good. So good. For the most part in Hellcat, it's pretty basic. There's nothing too spectacular. This was creativity. And it's one of the things I love about old school comics. You know, there's a lot of things I love about these old school comics, but this page right here just wows me. And it's just like, yeah, that is so good. That is so good. And you know, thought went into that. And how the story is paced and meets with all the aspects of the panels. It's great. And, you know, in this one here, that the stair step one, that, I mean, it was indicating motion in the fight, and you can kind of see it. You know, it just works. I mean, it's just so good. So good. And Shang-Chi definitely benefited from that. Shang-Chi Master of Kung Fu. Even the bad issues are fantastic on that series. It's while it's in the Marvel universe, it's its own thing. Most of the time, I don't remember any big names appearing in that comic, but it was a stellar comic. It was great. If you ever get the chance to pick up a couple of issues, you can just pick up anywhere in, and it's pretty easy to pick up and run with. And you're in for a good time. So yeah, I would highly recommend that to anyone. Up 5 stars for me, perfect 10. This is one of those comics, just really phenomenal, and one of the reasons I love comic books. So that'll wrap it up for Tales from the Longbox today. Don't forget to like and subscribe.